Final number one, boys basketball, the classical purple, taking on the Bishop Hendricken Hawks. Peter Gay along with Marty Crowley. All of a sudden, Marty, I can't speak.
Well, you've done 2 games today already, and 2 girls games. Congratulations, South Kingston and LaSalle will play tomorrow at 3:30. But now it's on to the boys and a rematch of the Division I title. It was played last weekend up at Brown University. It features the classical purple against the Bishop Hendricken Hawks. A lot of storylines in this one. For classical, though, it's David Duke there. Junior captain is a phenomenal ball player, Division I prospect here in the state of Rhode Island. Rodney Theodore, Jonathan Baptista, great guards. And Hendricken, it's a lot of the same for the Hawks, where their go-to would be Justin Missoula, son of Dan Missoula, a longtime legend here at Rhode Island, player at Bryan College, and brother Joe Missoula from West Virginia University. It's Justin Missoula. I remember Justin as a young boy coming here with his dad, and Trevor Lawton, Kyle Hensler. They got Hendricken, a great lineage, and should be a great game.
Hendricken in the home white with green and gold trim, classical. They are the purple, so no surprise. Purple with white numerals and trim. Opening tap is controlled by Hendricken. Justin Missoula to Trevor Lawton. Lawton comes foul line, misses the jumper right into the hands of Missoula, who goes strong to the glass, will miss. Right into the hands of Mueller, who will miss. Boy, 3 good looks, no basket.
Classical good by Wesley to get here last Sunday at Brown.
3-pointer front rimmed by Batista.
And they did it because they finally started rebounding. If they're going to be like this all day, it could be a long day for the purple.
Mueller gets it to Lawton. Outside now to Kyle Hensler, who will bring it out near midcourt.
A lot of balance on this Hendricken offense. They're all about 10, 12 points a game. Missoula, the leading scorer, at 16 a game.
Missoula coming off of a screen, gets the bucket plus the foul.
Good steal by Justin Missoula as the ball reversed around to him. He used his body very, very well right there. And a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Ernest Dumo, the foul. First of the game. Boy, Jamari Johnson up near the rim to pull that one down.
This class will be very, very athletic.
Drive missing is Duke. Ball, bucket, and a foul. Jamari Johnson ties it up at 2 apiece.
Oh, what great work on the boards by Jamari Johnson. We just talked about rebounding, and as on cue, Classical just all of a sudden decides to stop pounding the glass. He is a big man, Jamari Johnson. Listed at 6'5", the 6'5" junior.
Johnson completes the 3-point play. That foul was on Preston Santos, his first. 3-2, Classical, the early lead. We played 1 minute and 20 seconds. Open jumper. Missoula comes up short. Here's the chant of air ball as pushing it up court is Batista. Finds Duke. Duke off of a screen. Back to Batista. Looking inside to Johnson. He's being guarded closely by Theodore, who comes over to help on the drive. Shot won't go. And squeezing home too. Nice body control by Kyle Hensler.
Yeah, Hensler knew what he was doing the whole way right there. He just put his head down and he went. Good job by Hensler. Attacking the rim in transition. Good crowd on hand here at the Ryan Center.
Open 3. Missing was Duke. Rebound pulled down by Classical. 3-pointer won't go. Missed by Theodore. Hawks looking to run. Shot no good, but the rebound, Trevor Lawton.
A great job in transition. Little 2-man game right there, 2-on-1. Put the Hawks up by 3.
And 2 players being warned on the floor right now. Jamari Johnson for the purple and Justin Missoula for the Hawks.
And unfortunately, Rodney Theodore, who came over to set the screen, is going to get called for the foul right there. Theodore was huge the last 2 times he's played for the state title and division title. He had 30 points on 8 3-pointers, and Duke had 26 the last time these 2 teams met.
Hendricken on top, 6-3. We are now in the 3rd minute, approaching the 4th. Jumper off the mark by a wide margin by Preston Santos.
A little 2-handed shot right there. A little Hendricken, no stranger to being here.
Duke gets it outside to Batista. Batista tries to feed it inside to Duke, but count the jerseys, the white jerseys that is, 4 of them. And then Duke hustles back to make the steal. And the block and foul by Preston Santos. That will be his 2nd.
Good hustle by Santos, but I don't know if you want to pick up your 2nd foul. You're not even 4 minutes into the game, and Hendricken already has somebody at the scorer's table. Not that they don't play a lot of guys with Santos here. Sophomore leaper, 6'5", and he can jump, averaging 13 points a game. We'll probably have to go to the bench here.
Rodney Theodore makes the first of 2. That was a kind bounce.
Yep, shooter's touch there. And Dimitri Rosa now enters the game for the Hawks.
Shooter's touch, huh?
Yeah, that's what we call it, shooter's touch.
Why is it when I would make a shot like that, people would say it was just luck?
Maybe because of the trajectory of your of the ball.
6-4. Hendricken on top with the basketball. Missoula. A little weave out front. Hensler kicks it into the corner. Mueller 3-pointer shot won't go. Rebound Duke. Outlet to Batista. Batista into the front court. Batista outside to Duke. I mentioned Duke earlier. It was Johnson with the rebound, not Duke. Johnson with it now, cross court to Batista. Inside to Ernest Umo. Umo, tough turnaround, shot won't go, and a foul will be called on David Duke.
Yeah, Hendricken being very physical on the defensive end here. A lot of pushing, shoving, actually, more of the action away from the ball than on the ball. And if you're Classical, you got to be smart, and you got to keep your head here because you can ill afford to get any of your guys in foul trouble.
Well, they have 3 fouls committed by 3 different players, but the fact they've committed 3 fouls in the early going does not bode well, especially against a Hendricken team that's a good foul shooting team. Missoula. Boy, it looked like he got away with an extra step.
He jump stop, and then he kind of dragged that back foot right there, did Justin Missoula.
Theodore kicks it to Duke. 3 won't go. Classical coming out cold from the outside. And there is a block by Johnson that had there not been walls at the Ryan Center, that one would be out on Route 4 somewhere.
Oh, holy cow. Great job by Johnson. Great leaping ability. I would check the wall for damage.
3-pointer left, right side, hit by Dimitri Rosa.
Yeah, Rosa dialing in long range right there. Had 64 during the regular season, so he can shoot that ball.
11-4, Hendricken lead. Classical does not want to give the Hawks too much room here in the early going.
Yeah, they had a slow start against Wesley. They were down by 11, but John Kavanaugh called a timeout, trying to kind of get on the fellas and challenge them. Next thing you know, they're only down by 1 at halftime.
Duke's strong move off the glass.
Classical, though, they give up 36 points to J.C. Hamlin from Wesley in their game to get here. Great performance by him. The game was last Sunday at Brown.
Missoula, strong move for 2 more. He has 6.
Yeah, nice step through that time by Justin Missoula. Never panicked, stepped right through and finished it off.
Classical. That's Johnson top of the key. But with Johnson's leaping ability, I'd love to see Love to see them attempt an alley-oop to him.
I had a couple last week in transition. It was very entertaining to see.
Three-pointer missed. Good hustle by Jonathan Batista and good sportsmanship by Justin Mazzulla coming up, helping up Batista.
These guys know each other well. You know, this is the third time they're playing. The first time they played, Bishop Hendricken won 46-45 in double overtime this year. So this is more or less a rubber match between the number 2 and the number 3 seed in the boys' open tournament.
Johnson forces the turnover. He was in the area.
It seems like, you know, you look at the scoreboard, it's only a 7-point game, yet it seems like Hendricken's dominating in every sense of the word. There you go. asking you shall receive.
Not to take away from the girls' game, but we did not see that in the first two games.
No, I don't think we did.
And a moving pick will be called on number 4, William Mueller.
You know, consistency, that's all you want as an official. You ask me about talking to officials and stuff, you just want consistency, and that's all you can get right there.
Timeout on the floor, we'll take it as well. 13-8, Hendricken.
The most heart-stopping, game-changing, tie-turning moments in high school sports. Under Armour highlights of the week on the NFHS Network.
National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life.
Welcome back to the Ryan Center, the Alex Anani Court on the beautiful campus of the University of Rhode Island. Peter Gay, Marty Crowley, three-pointer after the timeout by Jonathan Batista. That timeout was a 30-second timeout taken by LaSalle Academy head coach Jamal Gomes. Excuse me, LaSalle Academy. They're next, Bishop Hendricken.
Bodies flying everywhere. Guys trying to take charges. It is a very physical game.
Three-pointer, bang! Kyle Hensler.
Great job in transition. Good job of knowing where your teammates are. Just spot it up and nail that tray. The sunlight is starting to drift through on the benches here at the Ryan Center as it's late in the afternoon.
Jumper won't go, followed by Batista, puts it in for 2.
Great job by Jonathan Batista, just following up, kept his composure. Down by 6.
Hawks work it around, looking to drive as Hensler. Look out!
That is Jamari Johnson's second block, although the first one probably could have counted for 5 the way that how hard he hit it.
Well, let's get the tail of the tape. There's an inbounds play run by Lawton.
Great job on the naked back post by Trevor Lawton. They forgot about him and they just hit him and he went.
48 feet, tail of the tape, the 2 blocks so far. Distance traveled through the air. There will be a hand check. Will be called against number 21, Isaiah Milers, who has checked into the game for Bishop Hendricken.
Junior Milers, very athletic player.
Into the game for Classical, Gerald De Los Santos. Johnson kicks it out to Batista. Batista, kind of an awkward dribble there, so he decides to set up anew.
Smart move here, trying to get Duke, trying to get him off and get him going.
Duke the miss. Rebound Mazzulla. Long pass attempted for Lawton, but off the mark.
Yeah, De Los Santos that time, give him credit, hustling back on defense and getting a hand up in that passing lane, Peter. Kind of knocked that off and Not that it's a critical time here in the first half. As you know, this game can switch quickly on a dime here. But the Purple need to get a hoop here, a stop and a hoop, and get themselves right back in this game here before it gets out of hand.
I noticed they're calling the hand check, but Isaiah Milers was grabbing.
Jacob Lamar, he was.
Yeah, and there's a foul over the back. Milers will pick up his second personal foul. Should have picked it up about 30 seconds ago. What amazes me, you call a hand check, and then a guy fighting through a screen is grabbing and everything else, and you don't call it. Says the former guard. Inside to Johnson. Little turnaround won't go. And all alone down the other end, Dimitri Rosa, touchdown.
Good pass right that time by Justin Missoula on the outlet. Saw his man streaking, and Klasko was crashing the boards.
Duke lost his dribble, able to get it over to Johnson, gets it back. Corner. De Los Santos the miss. Back come the Hawks. Mueller leaves it to Rosa. Rosa, nowhere to go. Fortunately, Missoula was there. Missoula, pass inside to Milers, who will hit for two. His first basket of the game. The lead is a dozen.
Hendricken winning all the mini runs right here. They're now up by 12. Classical scores a hoop, Hendricken scores three, and right now that's your Classical. You need to do a better job of getting to the basket. Hendricken's digging in, doing a great job playing man-to-man, closing off all the penetration lanes, and they keep extending their zone as
Duke with 2 on the shot clock, long range 3, shot clock violation.
John Cavanaugh probably needs a timeout here.
And he will. It will be a full timeout. We'll take timeout as well. 22-10, 5-10. John Cavanaugh has used 1 timeout. Jamal Gomes has used 1 timeout.
Good timeout right there by Classical. There's 5 minutes to go left here in the first half. Just settle you guys down and make a run coming in here and close this gap.
Classical needing to turn up the D. Maybe that will spark the offense. 3-pointer shooting over the top of it. Kyle Hensler, his second 3-pointer of the game. 3rd for the Hawks.
Well, that's a jab step there to get his defender off and then just buried it with a guy in your face. That's a big-time move right there.
3-pointer right corner won't go. Jacob Lamar the miss for Classical. Back come the Hawks. 3-pointer. Dimitri Rosa hits his second, and the lead all of a sudden is 18 points.
Hendricken's making their shots and Classical's not, and that's what it boils down to.
Duke the miss. Not only that, it's 1 shot and back on defense. Missoula looked like he was bumped, no call. Duke 1 on 3. That usually results in a turnover. That's exactly what happened.
Justin Missoula's slow to get up down from the other end.
Yeah, he landed awkwardly into the support, trying to shake it off. Actually, he's fortunate this was not a college game with the cameras there and everything else. He would have really been hurt.
Hendricken, a lot of wheel route people finding the gap, attacking the basket.
Not sure Johnson blocked that ball. If he had, it would have gone a lot more than just a foot outside. Batista will get it to Duke, who will slow it down.
Classical a little off here, like you said, it's 1 and done. Hendricken pounding the boards, running in transition. They're getting everything they want right now.
They get it to Johnson. Johnson, oh, nice little reverse.
Great move. They isolated the big man, Jamari Johnson. He has 7 now.
And so the offense starts to heat up from the outside. That would be my offense for Classical.
That was a 12-0 run by Hendricken right there. And you know what? Just keep pounding the ball inside. Stop score.
28-12. Looking to drive as Rosa denied. They swing it now top of the key. Good hands by Batista results in the steal.
Good job, Classical, so you get a stop and a score, now you get another stop. You just got to dig in, and, the old adage, you can't make up 16 points on one possession, but you can on 3 or 4 good plays in a row. And, you look at body language and momentum, Hendricken up on their toes, and Classical just got to stay within themselves right now.
A few of the Rams players, Johnson among them, looks exhausted. And that will be a bucket and a foul.
Oh, I think it's going to be a charge.
No, it won't be a charge. My mistake.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I was right the first time.
I'm sorry. I thought that he must have made the good signal. I thought he was going the other way.
So
I apologize.
The foul will be on William Mueller. That will be his second. David Duke with a chance to complete a 3-point play.
David Duke, I could say, arguably the best player in the state on the boys' side. Junior from Classical.
So he now has 5 points. Johnson leads the way for Classical with 7.
Five straight points now scored by the Purple here. Since our last time out, you can get a stop and a score, and back in it.
Johnson, the good D. Hendricken will reset. And we're going to have a foul called on Malik Chase, trying to chase through the screen. It's tough to chase through a screen when the screen is moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a tough call. That's you're setting the screen, the hip comes flying out, and next thing you know, you're getting called for a foul there. I don't agree with that call, but that's why I sit up here, and I don't have a striped shirt on.
Missoula now outside to Rosa.
And now we get called. And that's the third foul on Milers.
Isaiah Milers called for the foul.
Sometimes, guys or girls, guys go in with the little cross check and you block people, and next thing you know, somebody moves and you get a little extra shove, and that's when that call comes in.
They get it inside to Johnson. Johnson, shot will fall. And then Johnson, showing little frustration, will commit the foul.
Yeah, Johnson's, doing a great job in there, man. He's working his tail off. His teammates are trying to keep him calm right now as he's a little frustrated, but that was a frustration foul, as you said. He's got to keep his head, though, man. They need him in this game.
Good news for Classical. That's only his first. I'd love to see him get the ball in the low post, a little up fake, and then go right into the defender. I think he'd get that call every time.
Yeah, I agree.
Missoula, the miss. Missed by Lawton. Duke comes away with it. Duke looks up, sees 3 white shirts. And a traveling violation. Nope, they're going to call a grab, a push, and that's why there was a travel.
Well, what a great job by Duke that time, coming down the left wing. He never panicked. He kept his dribble alive. He didn't pick the ball up. 3 Hendricken guys were on him. He gave a little shuck, and next thing you know, it's a free throw opportunity for Classical. Good job by the Purple that time.
That'll be the 3rd foul on William Mueller. So he has 3. Milers has 3. Fortunately for Hendricken, they're a deep team. Matthew Ritchie, a 5'11 senior, checks into the game. Front end of the 1-and-1 missed by Malik Chase.
Those are opportunities you can't ill afford to lose, even though here it's first half, time winding down. You're starting to fight your way back into this game on a little mini run, if you want to say. You haven't scored in a little while, but neither is Hendricken. You got to make your free throws.
Inside of a minute left, first half. 3rd game of 4 today from the Ryan Center. All of them on the NFHS network. Long range 3 won't go. Battle for the ball, and now you're
right. That's a great heads up by Trevor Lawton.
But there's a call, and I worked the regular season with Del Malloy.
Run, do you call him? your kids need a break, if they're physically exhausted.
Well, especially in the high school game, because in the last minute, they do not stop the clock. So if you're down by, say, 4 points, you hit a three-pointer with 5 seconds left, you have no timeouts left, game's over.
Oh, we happened to us this year. We were up by 4, and I told the team, I said, let the other team score and just run the ball out of bounds and hold it.
Yeah.
And my kids were like, what do you mean? I said, no, you don't have to inbound it. Just run it, let them go without taunting. And we hit a 3 to go up by 4. And I said, just let them come down. And there was 7 seconds left. I said, just let them go and run the ball out of bounds. That's all you got to do.
Missoula comes up short. Rebound Ritchie. And
a shot clock violation.
Yeah, apparently they had shut the shot clock off thinking that it had grazed the front of the rim.
So now what about the game clock? How much time ran off after that whistle blew?
Well, if this is, this being a college facility, I believe the clock would, they might have a record of the last time it was set to 30 seconds.
They do have that. I believe they should.
So 5.3, so they must have started that last possession with 35.3 seconds left.
Well done by
That's technology every high school has, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the English teacher running the clock in between.
In between sweeping the floor and...
Duke at the buzzer. So the lead will be 11 at the intermission, which is good for Hendricken. But what's good for Classical, they close out the half on a 7-0 run. 28-17, back with our halftime report after this.
So if you're Classical, you get a shot to even pull within a 3-score game.
Always interesting to see the adjustments that will be made at halftime. But as you said, these teams know each other so well. It's not as if it's the first time they're playing each other. Okay, now that I've seen this team and actually been on the floor against this team, we need to do this, we need to do that. They know.
Yeah. Hendricken came out with Missoula on Duke. Missoula is one of their longer players.
And an offensive charge on David Duke. Suffering the blow was Trevor Lawton.
That's Duke's second foul here, and it's just trying to get himself to the basket. Something that Classical does very well. When you're not shooting the ball, you got to take the ball to the hole. Classical digging in now in man-to-man defense. Hensler being guarded by Batista. Good defense by Duke that time. And
will result in the traveling violation.
Yeah, Preston Santos, who sat for the majority of that first half, did absolutely the right thing, sweeping and going left. And that's what young players don't do enough of. Take that extra step, and they don't reach. And that's why David Duke's a special player defensively. He just did it right there. Wouldn't be surprised if your favorite kid out here, Jamari Johnson, they can try to get him off.
Duke just misses that one. Johnson will lose it off of his knee.
Good job by Trevor Lawton sticking his hand in there and knocking that ball off the knee of Jamari Johnson. Johnson kind of lost his bearings. Actually, he rebounded that underneath the stanchion, and he was in no position to shoot the ball. Don't forget, this is a full 94-foot court, and the baselines are a little deeper than they would be back, say, in Hendricken's home gym or even in Classical's home gym.
Hendricken, the unforced turnover. Justin Missoula wasn't ready for the pass. Actually, I think it was a bullet pass from about 3 feet.
Yeah, you know what? My kids do that, and it drives me nuts because it's how can you not have your hands ready to catch the ball? Everything's right in front of you. There wasn't even any pressure on you, but they're kids and they make mistakes. Good job that time of Duke splitting the seam, and I believe Kyle Hens is going to be called for the foul. What Hendricken's doing very wisely, though, every time they go to penetrate, the help comes early, and there's no dishing going on because Classical was not knocking down shots in the first half.
So David Duke, chance to make this a single-digit game. It's now 10. It had been 18.
8 points now in the day for Duke.
Makes both.
Make it 9, and here they are now. Hendricken was up 28-10. Classical continue this, I guess, run, if you will, and they, as you said, cut it to single digits.
And Classical has done it with the defense. And they do it again with the defense. Duke in the open court. Tries to thread the needle on a pass to Ernest Omo. Fortunately, knocked out of bounds by the Hawks.
A good job by Umo not putting his hands up trying to catch that ball. As he just kind of pulled them in very quickly.
Batista, three-pointer, comes up short. Skying for the rebound, Preston Santos.
That's a good job by Santos.
And then we saw this a few times in the first half. Classical forgetting about the man deep.
Kyle Hensler broke out again, and here they're looking to run again. They're trying to push the tempo.
Jumper hit by Preston Santos, and Classical wants the timeout as they're starting to. Hendricken can be an 18-point lead. Took Classical a while to get it down to 9, and then it was 13 just like that.
Yeah, direct Classical grounded out to get it back, and quick strike ability by the Hawks in transition. Sent Jamari Johnson to the bench. And Classical to knock some shots down. Nice jump hook that time.
Ernest Umo with the 2.
Great jump hook by Umo.
The lead back to 11. Driving is Mueller. Pulls up for a jumper. Shot no good. Rebound pulled down by the purple. To David Duke. Duke beyond the circle. Left side to Batista. Batista off of a screen. We'll start it all over again with Duke. Still plenty of time. A dozen left on the shot clock. Duke off the glass for 2.
Great body control by David Duke that time. Knew what he was going to do. Has some great hang time. Nice kiss off the glass. It's back down to 9 now. Hensel with the ball on the left wing. Hendricken likes to run a lot of that rub screen or that high screen, and now being called for a travel is Preston Santos once again. Credit David Duke with his defense that time. Same thing that happened on the left wing, just on the same thing on the right wing that time. Santos tried driving to the basket, and Duke just made him pick the ball up.
Could end up being a 2-possession game if Classical can hit a 3. A little over 12 minutes left. Duke will be grabbed, and that will be the 4th personal foul. I take that back. 3rd personal foul on Preston Santos.
Santos, who sat for him, as we saw most of the first half, he picked up 2 fouls pretty quick. He's tall and he's athletic.
Purple with the fresh 30-second shot clock. 3-pointer won't go. Nice box out by Dimitri Rosa.
Classical has not shot the ball particularly well tonight, and that's why you're in the hole that you're in.
Batista, the strip, but right into the hands of Trevor Lawton. Sometimes you're just unlucky.
That was the excuse me to Trevor Lawton, right in the right place at the right time. Lead back to 11 again.
Duke. Foul line extended. That pass, they are saying, was deflected, Marty. Or that shot was deflected.
Shot was deflected. Well, Justin Mazzulla trying to plead his case. It's not going to matter. Right? And Hendricken comes away with the ball irregardless.
It was 13 a moment ago, and it may be 13 after these free throws. Nope, there won't be any free throws. They are saying the foul was on the floor. It will be on Ernest Umo. That'll be his 2nd.
Boy, Hendricken's so dangerous, as you mentioned, in transition. They get out, stay out, and just keep pushing that ball.
And there's an offensive foul called on Preston Santos.
Well, I don't know if it's going to get called. One ref had travel, and the other one had an offensive fouling to go with the travel.
The travel occurred before the foul, so they'll go with that, which Preston Santos is happy with.
That would have been his 4th foul. Still can't hit a three.
No three-pointers for the purple. Alley-oop behind Preston Santos. I wanted to see an alley-oop, but I want it to be Jamari Johnson.
Who's about to check back into the game for Ernest Dumo, who did his job. Jamari Johnson rested now with 11:20 to go. Maybe clears his head a little bit more mentally. Classical's already rolling the ball in, down by 11 with 11 to go.
Well, if the defense isn't going to come up, might as well.
I'm sure.
Not as much game clock, but it's the shot clock. Johnson stripped of the basketball.
Well, if Johnson had come up with that ball, he had De Los Santos on the back post, wide open. A little frustration. He's going to keep playing hard, though. You know, it's
wanting the basketball was Rodney Theodore. There's a foul on the outside.
Now that's going to be 4 on Preston Santos.
And if you look at Santos after each and every call, you'd think he hasn't committed one foul.
You know, that was a foul, and here's where, you know, third official sees that stuff and maybe it comes in a little more. Class was going to catch a break there as the ball was back tapped by one of the Hendricken defenders as Duke tried driving to the basket.
Inside to Johnson, outside to Batista, who will be called for the offensive charge.
Missoula giving up his body that time. You know, here's what happens when you're not knocking down jump shots. You know, the help defense can get in there a little more. They can stay home a little more. They don't have to worry about flying out to the shooter. It's still an 11-point game.
This has not been a good start to the second half.
No, for either team. Yeah, Classical, you know, scored a couple buckets. Hendricken, you got to get some in transition, and since then it's been a grind. And there's another turn. There's a turnover by the Hawks.
Question is, which player on which team is going to step up and take control of this game? Because right now this game is wide open for someone to take it over.
Oh, I agree. Jamal Gomes pleading with his team to hold on to the ball. If somebody's going to take it over, there's the kid right there.
Bucket plus the foul.
Great job by David Duke once again. High flying, keeping his body in control and rotating too slow, pleading his case is Billy Muller, and now that's his 4th foul as well. It's a good call. Once Duke was airborne, he slid underneath him.
Duke cannot complete the three-point play, but chases down the rebound and will get the possession back off of the leg of William Mueller.
Great hustle that time. Now Mueller will go to the bench with 4 fouls.
Duke was a fraction of an inch from being on that baseline. To be honest with you, I thought he was.
Yeah, I would have ended up where that ball got blocked by Johnson earlier.
Well, they set up the three-point shot, but not taking it was De Los Santos. Driving inside and missing was Theodore. And then Johnson, the offensive. Oh, man, I thought for sure that would be an offensive charge as he clearly lowered his shoulder.
Yeah, he did, and the foul's going to be called on Justin Missoula, much to the chagrin. And here, Jamal Gomes, right, once you lower that shoulder, whether you have position or not, it's an intent. And so with that being said, you know, Johnson's been a little on peak, if you will, a little frustrated, and he's got to be careful with what he does here.
Johnson misses the first of 2.
Good job by the official going over to calm Jamal Gomes down and say, hey, listen, the call's made. Just keep playing the game. And, you know, with that, Jamal Gomes is going to take a timeout, maybe to talk to the official a little more or talk to his guys.
It will be a full time. 9:58 remaining. 34-25. Bishop Hendricken Marty, this is not an exaggeration. Lucky to still be on top.
Oh, I agree. I mean, Classical's done everything, throwing blow after blow after blow, but somehow Hendricken still finds themselves up by 9. I think probably because of the fact they were up by 18, in the first half, that they've been able to hang on here, but still a lot of game left with 10 minutes to go.
Extra pass for the Hawks results in a lay-in for Trevor Lawton. The lead is 13.
Great job coming out of a timeout. You go to whatever you do, you win your favorite set, and you get a bucket off it. Good job by the Hawks.
I said 13. The lead is 11. There's a jumper from the corner missed by Rodney Theodore. Maybe now it'll be 13. Or 14. Shot no good. Johnson way up for the rebound. Three-pointer by Batista, no good. Long rebound comes out. And a lay-in. Matt now makes it a 13-point game.
Well, that's the problem when you're not knocking down shots, especially with a long off. You're Classical, you're crashing the boards. Hendricken's releasing 2 guys, and you're getting 2-on-1s every single time.
Yeah, I think John Kavanaugh's one more Hendricken basket away from a timeout of his own. And the outside shooting woes continue for the purple. And the block by Johnson. And the foul as part of that block.
Yeah, a little extracurricular activity after, I guess, but, once again, Jamari Johnson a little frustrated with the way things are going here. And on cue, John Kavanaugh takes the timeout.
We will stay here for this one. Well, this game also available for all subscribers on our mobile website. Log on to NFHSnetwork.com from your smartphone or tablet and view live games or replays from anywhere.
Well said.
Well read.
So Missoula now will try to extend this lead, and if you're Classical, these next 2 or 3 minutes, obviously Hendricken once again now starting to pull away again. Although I think it's a battle of attrition at this point in time more than it is a clean game here. And just
thing about Hendricken, they never look rattled.
No.
And a foul will go against the Hawks defensively. And that will be their 6th team foul. And with 8:32 remaining, heck of an opportunity for Classical if they can make free throws.
Yeah. Well, that's 1,000,000%. You just hit it on its head. Maybe you can catch him with the clock stop. Classical, once that first 3 goes down, hopefully your next one goes down, and it's just confidence. And there you go. There it is.
That foul will go against Trevor Lawton. That'll be his first. And that should be the 17th foul, right? Yes, it is.
So with 8:24 remaining now, every time there's a foul, you get a chance to cut into this game. A great advantage for Classical if you can make your free throws.
Johnson a moment ago missed both free throws. This a 1-and-1. Misses that one. Rebound Duke. Duke puts it in.
Boy, he's smooth as silk.
He's a junior. He'll be back next year. Malik Chase is a junior. Let's not forget Jamari Johnson is a junior. This team could be back here next year as well. Jumper, foul line, missed. Rebound, Jarrell De Los Santos. Duke throws up. Oh, look out!
You wanted your dunk, you got it.
Wow. And
Jamal Gomes taking a timeout once again to talk to the official.
And I normally side with the coach when they're questioning officials, but I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, I think it's an evenly called game from our vantage point. I don't see any advantage gained by either team. And we spoke about that earlier with 3-second call in the last game. We saw if there's no advantage, it's just good hard play. I mean, you go to a collegiate game, it's like every time you alluded to this off the air with me. Every time you call a timeout when you don't really need one, and just if you're in the flow of the game, just let it keep going.
Out of fairness to Jamal Gomes, that last timeout came off of that explosive Jamari Johnson slam, which might have got Classical off and running. Over the back will be Ernest Umo. Ernest Umo seems like a combination of that David Letterman stand-up at the opening of the Oscars years ago. Uma, Oprah. Uma, Oprah. It's funny they never invited Dave back.
No, I can't understand why they wouldn't do that. Now here comes Classical now applying a little pressure, man-to-man press.
I think it's the first time we've seen a press from them in this game.
Yep.
Boy, almost hooking was Lawton.
Yeah.
They could have called that.
A lot of extra stuff going on, especially away from the ball. Hensel getting set to check back in, one of the more reliable ball handlers for Coach.
Well, what that press did do is they put Hendricken in a situation now where there's 8 on the shot clock. Missoula, corner. Shot no good. Big rebound by William Mueller, but it's stolen away by David Duke, who then steps on the baseline right in front of the official.
Yeah, that time he did step on the line. It's a funny thing. You look about body language, you talk about body language. You have to remember, these are kids. And this game is a very emotional game. There's a lot at stake here. You put your heart and soul into it.
And Missoula is not happy. I'm not sure if he took a shot to the neck or...
And Jamal Gomes, was in the ref's ear because, he's been a lot. He's really, really trying to ride the refs because of the physicality of the game. I don't see any more physical one end than the other, but that's me.
And that was the 4th personal foul on Ernest Umo.
One thing about these officials too, you get a veteran crew out here, so they know. Good block by Johnson. They know, what the deal is and what's at stake.
Kyle Hensler is looking at the officials like, why aren't you calling that? But it was his shoulder that was making the contact on the drive inside. Missoula the miss. Johnson comes away with it. He's wrapped up, and then a foul on Johnson.
I thought that would have been more of a foul on his, where maybe riding the refs works a little bit. Missoula ripped the ball from Johnson's hand.
And now a timeout called by John Kavanaugh. I would call.
In highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination. NFHSnetwork.com. We are high school.
Well done, sir.
Well, every now and then I can read. Sometimes not very well, but it was big letters and the words were simple. There's another thing, too. You look at Justin Missoula wearing low-cut sneakers. You don't see too many guys playing basketball these days wearing low-cut sneakers, especially with the amount of jumping and ankle problems these days.
Missoula misses both. He's now 0 of 4 from the foul line today. Something to remember if you have to foul at the end of this game. Duke pass to Johnson. Oh, blocked by Missoula. Take that.
Yeah, a little anything you can do, I can do better by Justin Missoula that time. As we said, from a long lineage of basketball players, Justin Missoula is. Most recently, his brother Joe playing at West Virginia.
Oh, tough pass intended for Jarrell De Los Santos.
Yeah, 2 guys in the same place. I don't know if Johnson thought that was for him or not, and kind of a couple wide receivers in the same area, and the quarterback, the ball just sails between them right there.
Stolen away by Batista. Batista, the offensive charge, take the basket away. John Kavanaugh saying that the defender slid up and under Batista.
Yeah, Justin Missoula once again. Hendricken, obviously, they work on taking charge as a sign of a good defensive team. So when you play a team that penetrates, you can get away with those things, but there's always that fine line of, now is Jamal Gomes getting what he wants now because
Johnson, yet another block. That's at least his fourth.
He is a big kid.
Listed at 6'5", but plays much taller. And off of a screen, the bucket by Trevor Lawton, plus the foul on Johnson. And all of a sudden, Jamari Johnson has 4 personal fouls.
Same inbound play they ran earlier to the short side. They ran to the far side where they just had a screen for Lawton and he just wheeled him to the back post, the old screen for the screener, and next thing you know, now it's a 12-point game. And I can't fathom Classical has only scored 29 points in 21 minutes of high school basketball here.
Trevor Lawton completes the 3-point play. The 6'4" senior, who does not look 6'4".
And Preston Santos, who just entered the game, will now depart it.
Tell you one thing, he wasn't cheated in this game.
No, Dad used to say you can't take your fouls home, you might as well use them. Well, fouls out with 2 points, does Preston Santos on the day.
5 personal fouls in probably, 7 minutes?
Yeah, he
close to it.
He didn't last too long. So what we thought would have been an advantage too here, Peter, with Glasgow shooting free throws for the last 8 minutes, hasn't come to fruition as they're not getting to the free throw line. And Hendricken, you had mentioned earlier, they're just out-toughing them right now, mentally more than anything else.
Yeah, since they went into the bonus, they've made 1 free throw attempt. It was the front end of a 1-and-1 by David Duke, and he missed it. And it's Duke at the line. This time makes the front end of the 1-and-1.
Still within striking distance. A lot of time left in this basketball game.
The lead is 11. And a grab. The question is, will it be on Batista? Will it be on Duke?
Looks like it's going to be on Batista. Good job that time of the offensive player, just trying to split you teach your kids that if they're going to trap you, get low, step through. And now it's 1-and-1 the other way. It's the double bonus, now for Hendricken.
Kyle Hensler makes the first of 2. 49 minutes away from the start of LaSalle Academy and Smithfield. The second game of our double header.
That's right, a double header.
Johnson hacked from behind and a good foul by Kyle Hensler.
Good foul, actually good play all around. Good jump stop that time by Duke. So there was no charge, and once the help came, he dished it on the low post into Johnson.
And Johnson makes the first of 2. He is now 2 of 5 from the line tonight. Actually, it is tonight. It's after 5 o'clock. Makes both.
Classical still hanging around, down by 11.
You get the feeling, however,
it's been 1 step forward, 2 steps back for them all afternoon, and the ability not to make jump shots.
Well, still have yet to hit a 3-pointer. I think to have a realistic shot at winning this game, they need to hit at least 2 in the closing 4.5 minutes. Muscling his way inside and missing was Missoula. Johnson the rebound. And that should be a blocking foul. It will be a good call by the official, as Kyle Hensler certainly slid, impeding the progress of Rodney Theodore.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Peter, but that's the thing is, all game long, there's a lot of sliding, pushing, shoving going on, and, you have to make a decision, charge, no charge, and definitely the right call by the officials there.
And once again, the free throw is missed. Now 9 of 16, only 56%. Hendricken is only 4 of 8. How often do you see the team that's losing by 11?
You don't, and what happens here too is, how many times do you get to the free throw line that many more times than the other team and you're still behind?
They get it across midcourt. Now will set up their half-court offense. Ooh, almost a traveling violation. Stolen away by Duke. Duke. Left-handed, and he could have been called for a technical foul after that because he taunted Justin Mazzulla.
You got a ball game just like that.
8-point game, 44-36. 3:43 left. Oh, what a basket by Kyle Hensler!
Great job keeping his body under control with Hensler right there. Big hoop for the Hawks, putting it back up by 10.
Shot no good. Rebound comes outside to De Los Santos. Into the corner. Theodore still have not hit a three-pointer.
Oh, everybody in the Classicals crowd right in front of that was up on their feet, hoping to make that one, and finally erupt with an outside basket.
And Jonathan Batista, obvious frustration, the grab from behind, and that will be his 4th personal foul.
Jacob Lamar set to come into the game. Batista made 47 threes. Theodore's made 34 threes. Including 8 against Hendricken. Last 2 times these teams played.
Kyle Hensler makes the first of 2, both teams in the double bonus. 5 of 9 now is Hendricken, and Kyle Hensler now has 17 points, make it 18.
10 here in the second half, a perfect 4 for 4 from the line.
Marty, fair to say, been a quiet 18 points?
Well, absolutely. He's done a little bit, some in transition, some in just a lot of the grunt work as well.
Dimitri Rosa looked up, saw Trevor Lawton breaking down court. Lawton was saying, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Don't try to make the tough pass. Let's work some clock, and yet they turn it over anyway.
Yeah, great job, great trap by Classical that time. The big man came out and they trapped on the backside of Hensler. The old weave offense, at some point you might see a high screen coming off this. There it is.
Duke lost the dribble momentarily, gets it back. Denied was Lamar. And this defense just won't budge. Missing in traffic was Theodore. And that's pretty much the way it's gone for Classical this afternoon and tonight.
Not a bad possession. You got a good shot out of it, but it took a lot of time off the clock when you're trying to get some threes, and now here's a foul on Theodore, the senior captain.
No, it'll be a timeout called by Jamal Gomes. He has one. His stomach will, but
They're not the tales of your high school days.
.2:17 left. An immediate foul on Jacob Lamar.
I don't think Lamar wanted to foul him there, but it's unfortunate, for Classical Purple. They had a phenomenal year. They beat Hendricken Brown in a very scintillating game last Sunday afternoon. Excuse me, 2 weeks ago, Sunday, pardon me. And you're not able to find your shooting touch here.
I'll tell you one thing, they fouled the wrong person. Kyle Hensler is now 5 of 5 from the line. He's tied with David Duke with 20 points. 19 points. Add number 20.
12 this half. Kyle Hensel has kind of put his team offensively on his back this half.
I don't want to say this one's over, but this one's over.
Yeah, the way it's going for Classical and the way it's going for Classical this afternoon in their offensive prowess, when you put 36 points up in we're almost at 30 minutes of basketball and you're down by 14 with 2 minutes to go. The math, obviously, the odds are not in your favor.
Jacob Lamar picks up his second.
Some Trevor Lawton to the line. He's only attempted and made one free throw today. Make that 2 free throws.
Hendricken's free throw shooting now 9 of 13, 69%.
Yeah, very efficient.
Ten of 14 now, 71%. If you're Hendricken, don't foul.
And if you're Hendricken, just keep doing what you've been doing, because they haven't made a 3 yet and still haven't.
And once again, Hendricken, a great job of boxing out. This is probably one of the best boxing out performances I've seen this season.
Well, I agree. And John Cavanaugh just said it all right there. That last 3, his shoulders dropped, his head dropped. The realization that, no matter what you're going to do.
Duke stripped from behind by who else? Kyle Hensler.
If there was a game MVP, I think that would be our guy right there.
I'm not sure, but at halftime, I think he was filling up all the water cups on the sideline. About the only thing he hasn't done.
If I get out and my car's washed and waxed, I'll know it would be true.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Make my wife happy.
Laying it in for 2 is Jarrell De Los Santos. And a timeout called immediately by John Cavanaugh. Might be too little, too late. Not that there's much he could have done about his team's poor shooting performance this afternoon and into the evening. 59.
There are no substitutes allowed.
You would never try to do that, Marty.
Oh, God, no.
And a grab by Lamar, but they don't call it on Lamar. They call the second one on.
Well, credit John Cavanaugh and the Classical kids. He's still coaching them up. Just finish what you started. That's a longtime coach at Classical High School, coached Central High School girls for a while, too, here in Rhode Island. He's a true gentleman. He's done a great job with this Classical Purple program, a great academic school located in the heart of Providence. Meanwhile, here's something we haven't seen in a while. Hensler at the free throw line making one.
Not trying to curse him, but he's a perfect 7 of 7.
I say he goes 8 for 8. The odds were with me.
I was doing a basketball game, actually the first game I did this year. This girl, Katie Nelson from Bishop Ian High School, 14 of 14 from the line.
Katie Nelson, I witnessed her 1,000th point the other night out at Massasoit Community College when she secures high-quality venues for our student athletes to play in. Little horn problem, but you're taught to play the whistle. Good job. Nobody stopped playing.
Rodney Theodore the foul. So a 14-point lead with 54.5 seconds left. I love the fact John Cavanaugh hasn't quit, but at some point do you start to raise the white flag?
A couple here maybe, and that's it. You're not going to get 16 points in 54 seconds. And some coaches elect to leave the guys on the floor. They let them finish what they started together. Much to the dismay. Rosen now with 10 points. It's both his free throws. And as you said, Hendricken very efficient from the free throw line.
3-pointer from David Duke won't go. And Johnson will commit the foul. Kyle Hensler will go to the line to shoot 2 more.
Congratulations, great careers for Rodney Theodore, Bryce Daly, Jacob Lamar, Jonathan Bautista, Christian Grimes, Joel De Los Santos, and Jalon Price. So big senior presence, 7 seniors on this classical program will not have the opportunity to put this uniform on ever again. They represented their program well as Hensler, surprise, surprise, hits his first free throw.
Have all of them played tonight? I don't think
No,
so.
they haven't. You still have a divisional championship under your belt where you beat Hendricken.
And yet another foul. I know I would have raised the white flag by now.
Johnson just fouled out. He had moments of brilliance and moments where he just couldn't seem to get it going here.
Well, certainly down the offensive end.
His teammates pretty proud he gets on the floor. That's a good testament. The kid comes in, he practices hard every day. It may be 34 seconds, but his name's in the box score regardless.
Trevor Lawton makes the free throw.
There's another senior, Matthew Sweeney.
Lawton now has 14, make it 15. 60-40. Three-pointer finally goes by Jonathan Batista. And then, oh my goodness, they fouled again.
And that'll be the end of Jonathan Batista's high school career. I guess he hit a three, fouled.
And all 5 fouls coming in the second half. That's tough to do. Kyle Hensler will check out of the game with 24 points. And Justin Mazzulla, who is 1 of 5 from the line tonight.
There's always the tale of two sides here. The Hendricken bench rejoicing, and just watched Bautista go to the bench. Hugs from his coach, hugs from the assistant coaches, his hands in his head. He should be proud of his effort here.
So Nicholas Mueller will check into the game for Justin Mazzulla.
So Matt Ritchie, another senior who probably put his 4 years of time in here at Hendricken and sits on the bench, comes to practice every day. We get a shot to run around for a little bit. And he will tell his children, I did play on that floor one day.
And Classical ready to empty the bench. There's a three-pointer by David Duke. Will they foul again? Yes, they do.
I think that's more to try to get the subs in, as now Classical has decided to empty the bench, and the seniors are coming in. Christian Grimes, a junior, Daniel Carlin, set to check in for the purple. Too little too late for Classical as they finally hit some threes with under 30 seconds to go in the game. Daniel Licht also check in for the purple.
Number 22 at the line was not listed in the program.
Oh, well.
Must have been listed in the scorer's book, otherwise it would have been a technical foul. Misses both, gets his own rebound. This is always the tough part when you put kids into a game with 10 seconds left. They want to play basketball and the coaches won't let them. 24 points for Kyle Hensler, 15 for Trevor Lawton, 10 for Dimitri Rosa, 9 points for Justin Mazzulla, 2 for Isaiah Milers, 2 for Preston Santos, 4 3-pointers, 2 of them by Rosa, 2 by Hensler, 20 of 26 from the line for the Hawks, including 10 of 10 for Kyle Hensler. David Duke led the way with 22 points for Classical. Jamari Johnson with 11, 5 points for Jonathan Batista, 4 for Rodney Theodore, 2 points for Ernest Omo. 1 3-pointer by Duke, 1 3-pointer by Batista. They were 10 of 17 from the line, led by Duke's 5 of 6. Marty, your final thoughts?
Hendricken just grounded out. Classical didn't shoot particularly well. Give them credit. They hung around to the end, but at the end of the day, Hendricken was a better team today.
Certainly was. 62-46 our final. Thanks to our cameraman, Stanley Leo, our producer, Anthony Haywood. For Marty Crowley, I'm Peter Gay. This has been a sports exclusive of the NFHS Network and